Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, and I am a resilience coach and an energy practitioner and a life strategist. My mission is to amplify joy, love, and hope in the world and help you navigate personal transformation, show up, and help you practice so we can become better together. I don't know if you guys were here yesterday, but my screen once again started talking to me. All right, but this time I have it in my headphones so you can't hear. But I just told you, woot woot, because I reveal everything here. This is the too much information channel, in case you didn't know. Okay, so I am struggling with a little cold today. So if I have to cough or sneeze or anything, please excuse me. I'm doing my best. I hope you are doing well and that you are healthy and feeling good. And if you are not, hopefully I can give you some tips or strategies or information that may help you. All right. So if you are watching, please say hello. I would love to know where you're watching from and what time you're watching. If you're watching live or if you're watching after, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. On this channel, if you are new here, I talk about motivation, inspiration, oracle and tarot cards, energy healing, of course, and the Me First framework. And this is a method that I've evolved with clients and through my own struggles as a widow and mom of three boys with ADHD going through perimenopause. If you know, you know. Also, while managing grief. So, excuse me, almost had to cough. All right. So, the Me First framework is my strategy for building resilience and getting clear on how to move forward after devastating loss. And I tell you my own experience because I have been able to use this framework before incredible loss and to just maintain my day to day. And then it has also helped me tremendously during the time where I've been slowly rebuilding my life, right? And putting my life back together after losing the most important person in my life to me at this stage, which was my husband and my best friend. And it sucks. But we are here and we must move on with our lives, no matter what we've lost, whether you lost a job, whether you lost a person, whether you lost faith, right? These are all moments of great transformation. And that's what we've been talking about this week. We started talking about embracing the storms. And the storms are those events where big things happen, big shakeups that really change your life completely. Um, and we've talked about how to sort of move through that and how to release that. And I'm going to talk a lot more about that too. But today's topic is going to be the secret to making confident decisions. And it's simpler than you think. Okay. It is. It's easier than you think. And we're going to talk about it because one of the things that happens when you go through tremendous transformation, we've been talking about how like the foundation crumbles and then you have to sift through and figure out what are you bringing with you to the next level and what are you keeping. Well, sometimes you have to, well, not sometimes, but that means you have to make big decisions about what you are bringing with you to the next phase of your life, to the next journey, what you are bringing into the new house that you are building, right? Which is the new you that you are building, what comes, what stays, what needs to be released. And, sometimes it takes time for you to decide exactly what you want to take. And so I really want to talk about how to connect with your inner GPS and start making choices that feel in alignment every time, right? So that you're not questioning and not spending so much time questioning, is this right? Should I do this? Should I not do this? But that you can make confident decisions with clarity and in total alignment with your highest self. We're going to talk about that today and probably tomorrow too. All right. But let's begin with our breaths and our stretching. So every day we do our morning ritual together. We're doing 3 deep breaths, a little light stretching. We're going to shake it off. We'll call in for spiritual support, and then we'll talk about today's topic. Okay. So let's start now. As I said, if you're here, please feel free to say hello. Oh, I should probably open the chat so I can see if you're saying hello. It's open now. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to start by lighting the candle to initiate our little ritual. Okay, so here we go. This is a new one. Candy cane JoJo's. This is from Trader Joe's. I got like this package of candles at Christmas and kind of like it. All right, this smells like candy cane. So a little Christmas memories. Oh, yes. That is nice. Okay. And I haven't really been using essential oils because I have this, you guys probably can't see it. I have this thing going on with my hand. I don't know what it is, but it's been going on for a while. And the essential oils actually makes it worse. But for you, no, for me today, I am going to actually use a little essential oil. And I just have to remember because I usually go like this and then rub it. I got to remember to not do that. Okay. This, I'm using it because this has peppermint and I need some help breathing today because I'm stuffed up with this cold. Okay. Sorry. Forgot to press that button again. I'm sorry. All right, so we lit the candle. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, and I'm going to try to do this without coughing, okay? So here we go. We're going to take 1 deep breath in, and with that breath, I want you to imagine all of the love and light and support from the universe entering into your body, and then it is going to fill your body with light and slowly dissolve any stuck or stagnant energy, and then as you release, you're going to release the things that don't serve you, and we're just going to ask that Mother Nature transmutes that into something usable for Earth because that's what Mother Nature does, turns garbage into growth. All right. So that's what we're doing. We're turning some garbage into growth. Here we go. And hold. And release. Try to make the exhale last longer than the inhale. That will activate your parasympathetic nervous system and just let you know that everything's okay. It's like your body's signal to be like, we're good. Nothing emergent is happening. Okay, so let's do another deep breath. And hold. And release. Okay, that one made me cough. Let's just make sure that's back on. All right, the last deep breath, make it count. We are increasing our capacity to receive breath and life. And then we are exhaling all the things that don't serve us. Ready? Here we go. And hold. And release. Excuse me. All right. So now that we've done our deep breaths, we're just going to do a little stretching. Just for the purposes of us here doing this together, I'm just going to stretch my neck and my back. That's usually what I do. My shoulders, try to loosen them up a little bit. They're very tense. And when you do this at home, I want you to breathe in to the places that you are stretching and just allow that breath to fill any area that maybe has pain or tension or feels stuck. Okay. And allow your breath to release that stuck and stagnant energy. And then when you breathe out and shake it out, we are just releasing all the things that no longer serve us. Okay. Now we're ready to move on. Hope you enjoyed that little warm up. All right. So now we're going to set our intentions for the day. But before we do that, I'm going to call in to my spiritual support team and I will say a prayer to do so. And I ask you to do the same with your spiritual support team in whatever way aligns with your spiritual beliefs. All right. So if you would just like to listen to my prayer and let it stand for you, so to speak, then by all means, you could go ahead and do that. All right. Here we go. Put my cards close because it clears the cards. Okay. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me set an intention that is in alignment with my highest good for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you for showing us all the signs and synchronicities and messages in nature, in music, in movies, through the cards that I pull, and through the words of other people today and always. I appreciate you, I serve you, and I am grateful for any wisdom that you may have for the collective to be transmitted through me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okay, so take a moment to set your GPS word, which we will talk a little bit about today. Or if you don't know what that is, then just set an intention for the day. Just take a moment and set your intention, okay? And while you do that, I'm just going to remind you, after you set your intention, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and ding that little bell so that you will get notified whenever I go live, which right now is every day from Monday to Friday. And not to mention that my personal readings and personal strategy sessions are open. I will even do couples readings if you'd like. They actually work really well. I encourage you to go to my scheduler, which is just on Calendly. You can find the link in the description. And of course, download your free Me First Guide to Transformation on Bitly. Once again, the description is the information and the links are in the description. And if you can't find it for whatever reason and you need some help, just please feel free to reach out to me and I will let you know. All right, so let's get to business. All right, let's talk about how to stop overthinking every decision. How do you build trust, confidence, and safety around your choices? Well, that's what we want to talk about, right? How can you do that? Because I don't know about you, but decisions can be very difficult. I mean, day to day decisions are difficult. Now, of course, we've talked about that I have ADHD. So decisions for people with ADHD are challenging as it is because we literally think of every possibility. We take in every piece of information, content, energetic information. And so making a decision based on all that can be challenging, right? Because it's like I have too much information to make a decision. So I want to help you with that because it's something that I have learned for myself how to make things a little bit easier. Because life can be really overwhelming when you're making especially like big decisions, right? Like those big decisions that you can't just be like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. But the ones that hold weight, the ones that have anxiety for you because you're afraid if you make the wrong one, that there's going to be consequences and not ones that you want to deal with. All right. And when you're thinking about making those decisions, of course, you're always replaying past mistakes, highlighting all the times that things didn't work out. And that can leave you totally paralyzed, wondering, how do I move forward? And how do you create success in your relationships, in your career, your personal growth? If you are afraid to take a stand and make a decision and step into your most powerful self. Because let me tell you something, your most powerful self is clear and confident and makes decisions easily. Now, maybe not always, but that is what we're moving to. Okay. And here's the truth, you already know what to do. You already have everything you need to succeed. And the key to aligning your decisions with who you want to be and how you want to feel is in you connecting with your highest self, right? And that is why I'm introducing you to the GPS word. Okay, now I called it the GPS word because it's GPS. We know what GPS is, right? We've all heard people talk, we've all heard people talk about GPS. Now, what I mean is we all know what GPS is. You get in your car, you put in your coordinates and the GPS takes you there, right? And so what I want and what the GPS word is, it is your grounding statement. It is your foundational word, the word that expresses the thing that you want most, right? And it's a feeling. It's not like stuff, okay? But it is what feeling that you want most that will bring you closest to what you feel is fulfillment or satisfaction in your life or success, right? And that's why the word doesn't matter to me. The word should matter to you. What is something that encompasses what you want out of your life, right? What feeling or idea do you want to embody, right? So is it peace? Is it freedom? Is it abundance? Right? And once you've identified that, then you can make your choices to align with it. All right. This is your internal compass, right? Just like that GPS in the car, you plug it in and it tells you where to go. And if there's plenty of ways to get there, right? And the car is going to be like, okay, recalibrating when you get off track, right? When you're heading in a different direction, the car will be like, that's not the way you should go. But also, the GPS doesn't judge. You just start to feel uncomfortable, right? So the whole idea of you connecting with your inner self is that your inner self is constantly communicating with you, and it is communicating with you, as per our conversation yesterday, through how you feel, right? And so if you know what feeling you want and you are experience if oh my God, my words aren't working. If you know what you want and you are experiencing a feeling that does not align with what you want, your body is going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be uncomfortable, and it is going to express itself through feelings or body discomfort. And this is what we need to learn to pay attention to and become more connected to. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Alignment, in being in alignment and being connected, it doesn't mean changing your whole life overnight. Okay. You can't just like one day go like, oh, I want peace. And suddenly you wake up the next day and you're like, wow, I'm so peaceful, right? Because it takes time. It takes time for us to calibrate our body, for us to slowly make shifts towards the thing that we want. And how long it takes or how many actions it takes depends on how far off course you are. Right now, let me just say this disclaimer. I don't ever believe that you are off course. I always believe that you are doing your life's journey in the way that it's meant to be done. However, I do believe that there are some shortcuts or some detours or some paths that are easier than others, right? Like, you can take the highway somewhere, or you can take a side street, or you can take a road that's maybe a little bit slower but has beautiful mountains or beautiful scenery and places for you to stop. You get to decide what journey you want to take. You get to decide what happens along that journey and who comes with you and all that stuff. And I won't go deep into that analogy right now, but it really is a great analogy. The idea of, you know, your vehicle, your body, right? And it's like connecting with your body. And then you're the one that gives permission for people to be near that body, influence that body, right? Come along with you on the ride, right? You are the one that has to decide who's coming on the trip, who's allowed to, change the music, right? Which is changing what you listen to. You have to be in control. You have to be in control of what's playing in your head. You have to be in control of where you're going and how you want to get there, right? There are things that are going to inevitably show up along your route, right? Like there might be an accident, there might be construction, there might be just slow going traffic, right? But that doesn't mean that you're not going in the right direction. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get to your destination. And all you need to do is decide how you're going to deal and manage with those challenges, right? And teach yourself by connecting with your GPS how to stay on that path, no matter what's happening, right? So the GPS may be like, okay, we got to take a little detour because there's an accident here, but knowing that no matter what, that you will take that detour and it will take you back to where you need to go. All right. Um, so I want to talk about this. When making your decisions, you can't choose from a place of fear if you want to feel free. Okay. If you want to truly make a decision that aligns with who you are, it has to come from love. It has to come from faith, right? The energy with which you make your decision will influence the results or consequences of that decision. All right. Once again, let me tell you, the energy with which you make your decision will influence the direction, the results, or the consequences of that decision. So, your number one most important thing is to be connected to yourself, to your inner guidance when you are making that decision, and make that decision in trust and in love, knowing that no matter what happens, it is what is meant to be. Whatever challenge arises, it is a challenge that you need to face in order to fortify your character, your journey for the next step, right? Because when you make a confident decision, when you make a decision that is aligned with what you want most in your life, I promise you there will be less regret because you will know that you made the decision that you wanted to make, not the decision that somebody else made for you, not the decision that society thinks you should be making. And that's really what the Me First framework is about getting very, very clear on what it is you want out of your life, what decisions you need to make for your well-being, and that will positively affect not only you, but the people in your life, your family, your friends, your community, the circle of influence that is around you, right? They are going to be influenced by your clear and confident decisions. You will be that beacon of light that they're looking for because you will not waver from your foundation. Okay? All right. So, wow, we're already like 20 minutes in. This is good. Okay. So I want to ask you, all right? What is the freest choice that you can make when you're making a decision? Okay. You know what? Let me go back a little bit because the freest choice has to do with if you want to feel free. So the first thing that I want you to think about in terms of the GPS, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow. We're going to go a little bit more in depth. I'm going to give you a couple of little exercises so that you can get to the GPS. But I just want you to understand the concept, and this is pretty simple. So I'm sure you've got it already. But the concept being that whatever it is that you want most in your life, you need to embody that in your life in the present moment. And that is the only way that you are going to then have that, whatever that thing is, at the end of your life. And so let me give you an example. If you're someone who all you want is peace, right? But you fight every single day for everything, you are constantly fighting. Now, I'm not saying you have to stop fighting, but if you want peace, then your decision to fight should have a direct correlation or a direct result of bringing you peace. Okay. Maybe not in that moment, right? Because, like, let's talk about us fighting for things that we believe in. Of course, you need to fight for what you believe in, and you may have to fight very hard for that. But make sure that the fight for what you believe in is done in a way that's in alignment with you and for the purpose of peace. If you are just becoming violent and just expressing yourself in a way that is causing destruction, unless that destruction is going to then lead to peace, which very often destruction does not lead to peace. Well, I mean, the destruction of a system, a concept, yes. Okay. But when we're talking about connecting with people or destroying other people, that's probably not going to bring you peace. Now, obviously, there's like a million nuances in this discussion. And so if you want to discuss your specific situation and maybe how you can connect with your GPS word in a way to make a decision that's very critical for you, well, then please go ahead and reach out to me. But I'm trying to give you just a general overview so that you can put it to use right now. So if you're looking for peace, then you have to figure out what is the most peaceful way that I can achieve this? Or what do I need to do? What action do I need to take that will result in my peace? Right? Now, I'll give you a silly example, right? Now, again, like I said, I always use myself because I have ADHD, and peace, spaciousness, all words that are very important to me, okay? All things that I try to integrate into my life. And so in order to have spaciousness, for example, I need to clean, I need to declutter, I need to organize myself. And that's something that's very challenging for me. So I do not feel spacious or peaceful when I am taking apart my closet or reorganizing parts of my house. That does not feel peaceful or spacious, right? It actually feels terrible. It is extremely uncomfortable and it makes me mad and frustrated. Okay. Even though I am also a professional organizer, literally, it is very hard for me to do it for myself. Okay. Now, and here's the thing, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that if I spend the time being extremely uncomfortable and taking apart my closet and removing everything and then putting back only the things that serve me and having a place to put everything and really spending the time to make that closet, for example, because I have one of these closets and I've done this for myself, so I speak from experience. and have that look the way I want it to, that is worth all the money in the world. For me to now walk into my closet and know exactly what's there and know exactly where things are and have it be the type of closet that I can walk in and literally have spaciousness. I feel free. I feel light. I feel accomplished. All right. Now, it was not easy. It was not, I'm not always moving. I'm not always in peace or feeling spacious. But my goal with the GPS word is I want to move in that direction, right? Just like when you put the GPS in your car, the second you put it in your car, you're not all of a sudden in the place that in the address that you've plugged in. There's a journey, there's a path to get there. And sometimes there's traffic, sometimes there's an accident, sometimes there's detours, sometimes there's people that come into your path and you're like, how did you show up here, right? But yet there they are. That's the external forces that you may encounter on your journey. And your job is only to make sure that you are still headed in the direction you want to go. And what's the direction you want to go? Your GPS word. What is that address? If you want peace, what's going to get you there? If you want abundance, what do you have in abundance already that you can focus on in your life to then see and feel and embody that abundance, right? What choices and actions do you need to make in your life to become more abundant, to become more free, to become more understanding or loving or vital? I was more thinking of the word vitality, right? Like if you want to have a life that has more vitality, what actions, what choices, what decisions do you need to make that brings vitality into your life? And so, how does this facilitate you making decisions? Because if you make the GPS word your anchor into like, this is what I want in my life, and then you filter every decision through that word, and you're not just filtering like, is this going to bring me peace? Is this going to bring me love? Is this going to bring me whatever? But really paying attention to, is this action, is the result and the consequence of this action, as far as you know, because we don't always know all of the consequences, but as far as you know, is this action, is this choice, is this decision going to give me the result that I want? Right? As far as you know, like I said, because you can only do what you know you can do, right? And so again, back to my closet example. If I look into the closet and I want spaciousness, if I just ignore the closet and close the door, it will never become spacious, right? And maybe my day to day life feels spacious if I never go into the closet, because then I never have to face that lack of spaciousness, right? But if I'm going to make every part of my life spacious, then I eventually am going to have to open that closet door, and I'm eventually going to have to deal with the mess in there. And I'm eventually going to have to look at everything in there, take everything out, and decide what gets put back in. And that whole experience does not feel spacious, does not feel peaceful, does not feel good in the least. But I have to do that. And I know that if I do it, the result, if I clean up my closet, that result is going to be the exact thing that I want in my life more than anything, which is that spaciousness, which is feeling that clarity and feeling that confidence in my home, in my space. Right. And so that is what you need to ask yourself. What action do I need to take that is going to bring me closer to where I want to go? And let that be your anchor, your GPS word that you hold on to and use to filter through every decision that you make. Okay. That is my biggest piece of advice for you, is you go tonight or today or right now, if you have some time, and pick that GPS word. Pick a word that aligns with the feeling you want most, the feeling that you are ready to embody in your life, because it is time, because you deserve it, because we all need to embody the things that we want most in life so that we can be the beacon of that light in the world. All right. Now I'm going to pull a card. Okay. And I'm going to pull a card on how to make more confident decisions. Let's ask Spirit, what advice can we do? What advice can Spirit give us to connect with our GPS? Like what else can we do? Okay, so let me see. I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle card once again by Colette Baron Reed. And I haven't said who her artist is. I like to say who the artist is. Her artist is Jenna Della Grottaglia. Okay. She's a beautiful artist. I love all the things that she does for Colette Baron Reed. Really great. In the meantime, if you guys have questions, please feel free to reach out and ask me questions. Like I said, sessions are open. And please subscribe to my channel. Go onto YouTube if you have not subscribed yet. I've got like 85 subscribers on my Me First TV channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, come on, get me up to 100. Let's start with 100, okay? That would be nice. All right. Let's see. Let's see what advice the Spirit has about making decisions and how to connect. What does Spirit have to say about connecting with our GPS word? All right, let's see. The card that came up was To Be Fair. To Be Fair. And that's number 38. And through numerology, 38 becomes 11. And 11 is a master number, right? And this really becomes about judgment. It really becomes about being discerning, right? How discerning are you about the things that you allow into your life? How discerning are you about the choices that you make in making sure that they are in alignment with the life that you want to live, right? To be fair makes me think like if you're living a life that is not in alignment with how you want to feel, then you need to ask yourself what actions, what decisions, what choices are you making that are creating this life that you are dissatisfied with, right? And even more so because circumstances happen, like lots of circumstances happen that are already out of your control. Things happen that are external that you have no say in. And what you really need to ask yourself is what decisions can you make that will help you align more closely with the things that you want. And this is about getting real, right? Remember yesterday, feel, heal, and get real? Like get real about what are you actually doing for your future self? Are you looking out for your future self? Are you standing up for your future self? Are you doing the things right now that you need done in order for your future self to have all the love and success and spaciousness that you want? That's your responsibility. Okay, so let's see, 38. Let's see what it says. And then we're going to wrap up soon. 37. Come on now. 38, to be fair, balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, and the law of cause and effect. Life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis to doing, from discovering to loving to letting go to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you're not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. Oh, that's lovely. Wondrous things, because if you connect with that GPS word, I'm telling you, you will slowly, one decision at a time, start to move in the direction that makes you feel better. And if you are moving in a direction that makes you feel better, guess what? At the end, the result will be you feel better. It just is. Okay. It just is. All right. We have had, let's see, do we want any clarification? I don't know. I'm feeling another card. Do we have anything else that we want to say to our people? Okay. Anything else? One popped out, so I'm going to keep that one. Okay. Anything else? This one too? Okay. Oh, yes. All right. So here's the messages. Number one, clean it up. Right. And this always comes up. Clean up your energy. Clean up your loose ends, clean up your boundaries. Okay. That's what this is. This is clean up, right? And it's funny that I was talking about the closet, right? Cleaning it up. This is what you need to do, not only with your physical space. Certainly I encourage it with your physical space as someone who works with, personal organizers and does that kind of work. Nothing feels as good as going through your physical space, curating all of the things that exist within it and making sure that you are connected and aligned with everything in that space. Because believe it or not, energetically, everything affects you. So if you have a house full of clutter, which is full of memories that you may or may not want to face, or it's full of things that no longer serve you, you need to release that. You need to get rid of it. That is the kinds of things. Clean it up, get it out of your energetic space. Okay. And that goes for also where your emotional, mental, and spiritual focus is, right? Clean it up. Clean up what you're talking about. Clean up what you're thinking about. Clean up your focus, right? Clean it up so that it is in alignment with what you want the most. So, once again, we're going to anchor in that GPS word. And with that GPS word, we're going to let that guide us. Let that be the light, right? That you go, oh, we're looking to go closer to something that feels like this. That is where you should always move to. And the other recommendation or the other card that came up was the number 2, the yin, right? And let's read the yin card. And this is message directly from spirit explaining how to sort of sort through or how to clean it up, right? So let's take a look at what this says. All right. The feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking cues, the art of conscious allowing. Right. So it's interesting because like yang is the masculine principle, and that's a little bit more action driven. But right now, spirit is asking you to be receptive, right? And this is sort of taking in the information, analyzing, feeling, allowing yourself to be led in the direction that feels good. All right. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. I mean, right there, right? Once again, being discerning, setting boundaries, creating your space, right? Creating the safety, the comfort, and the confidence in your space. And all you allow in that space is whatever is going to connect with you, align with you, and help you move forward towards a life that you truly want to live, right? You get to decide that every step of the way. Every energetic interaction is your responsibility to either, bring it closer, right? Add it, welcome it, include it, receive it, or disconnect from it, right? Cut it out, remove it, set a boundary. All right. So that is what you need to work on. And I want to hear how that goes for you today. Please fill me in on whether or not this was helpful. Pass it along to anybody else who you think might benefit. And join me every morning from Monday through Friday as we build a life that feels as good as it looks. All right. And I want you to comment on the show with your biggest decision-making struggle. Okay. Please do that. Let me know what are you really struggling to decide with, and reach out if you really want help, because I'm really great at helping people make decisions. Okay. And don't forget to join me tomorrow for more ways to access your GPS. Let's work together to uncover your potential, because it's more fun together and much, much better together. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.